Driving in Spain? Visit n332.es first.
You're listening to the N332 podcast, brought to you by Mark Nolan's podcast.com and madblackcat.com. Here is Mark Nolan.
Hello, this is Mark Nolan with N332, Driving in Spain, our weekly look at road safety and traffic law stories from around the world, and a look at what's coming up this week on the N332 website. From around the world this week, we look at a major new seatbelt crackdown in the UK, a sobering report on motorbike deaths in Ireland, but some good practice in motorcycle training across Europe. From N332, we have more on the mandatory insurance for electric scooters and summer car care, including keeping cool. Plus, a little look at this week in motoring history, so let's strap in and go for it. Seatbelts save lives, but in the UK, and pretty much every country actually, thousands of adults still travel unbelted every year. Soon, that could mean not just a fine, but points on your licence. The UK government says this reform is part of the biggest shake-up of road laws in nearly 20 years. Think of it this way, every unbelted journey is a gamble, and this law makes that gamble costlier. In Ireland, the Road Safety Authority says most motorcycle deaths are avoidable. Between 2020 and 2024, 105 motorcyclists were killed and almost 900 seriously injured. Many of these crashes happened on rural roads on summer afternoons, often because other drivers failed to see riders and riders not behaving properly. Awareness, training, and infrastructure improvements could turn those statistics around. And across Europe, training is in the spotlight. The European Road Safety Charter has named voluntary motorcycle training as its good practice of the month. The idea is simple. Skills fade, conditions change, and refresher courses keep riders safer. It's not about passing a test. It's about practicing what saves your life. Now back to Spain and what's coming up this week on N332. First up, let's get into a topic that's been making waves across Spain. If you own an electric scooter, or a personal mobility vehicle as they're officially known, you're going to want to listen very carefully. From January 2026, it will become mandatory for all PMVs in Spain to have a valid civil liability insurance policy. This new rule is a direct result of the European Directive 2021/2118 and is designed to improve road safety and ensure that victims of accidents are properly compensated. It's a significant change because, as it stands, a very small percentage of privately owned e-scooters are insured. Some local estimates suggest that compliance could be as low as under 5% in certain areas. This new legislation aims to close that gap. The surge in e-scooter use has unfortunately led to a corresponding increase in accidents, with one major city reporting that accidents involving PMVs nearly doubled from 62 in 2023 to 107 in 2024. These accidents can range from minor material damage to severe personal injuries for both the user and pedestrians, and the new mandatory insurance means that if you, as an e-scooter user, cause damage or injury to a third party, your insurance will cover the costs. The cost of a basic policy is expected to be quite affordable, ranging from 30 to 50 euros per year, but the protection it offers is substantial, with compensation for serious cases such as a fatality, potentially reaching up to 400,000 euros. It's also important to note that many home insurance policies do not cover incidents involving motor vehicles, which often includes e-scooters, so it's vital to check your policy carefully. Now let's talk about the health of your car here in Spain. For anyone driving on Spanish roads, understanding what makes a vehicle roadworthy is of paramount importance. Beyond a simple visual check, a car's fitness for the road is a matter of safety, compliance and legal obligation, and these conditions are rigorously checked through mandatory ITV tests and by traffic authorities in roadside checks. So what exactly does that mean? A roadworthy vehicle must be free from any structural damage, and all its mandatory systems, from lights to brakes, must be fully functional and properly maintained. The brakes are a critical, non-negotiable component. Inspectors will check for appropriate brake pedal travel and resistance, and that there are no fluid leaks or a significant imbalance in braking power between the wheels. The steering mechanism must be precise and responsive with no excessive play, and the suspension system needs to be intact and efficient to ensure proper control and tyre contact with the road. Tyres themselves are also a key focus. They must have adequate tread depth, a minimum of 1.6 millimeters for cars, with no dangerous cuts or bulges. Finally, all lights must be present and fully functional, and the vehicle must meet the applicable emission standards. Should any of these issues be classified as a dangerous defect during an ITV inspection, the vehicle is immediately deemed unfit for public roads and cannot be driven. And on the topic of keeping your vehicle in top condition, let's talk about the Spanish summer heat. Stepping into a car that's been baking in the sun is more than just uncomfortable. It can be genuinely hazardous. Temperatures inside a parked car can easily soar past 60 degrees Celsius, posing risks to both your health and your car's interior. But there are a few simple strategies to help. The most effective step is to find shade, which can significantly cut the internal temperature. If shade isn't available, investing in reflective sunshades for your windscreen and front windows is a great idea. These accessories reflect a lot of the sun's harsh radiation, slowing down the temperature increase inside the cabin. Another great tip is to cover heat-absorbing surfaces like your steering wheel and leather seats with light-colored towels to prevent them from becoming painfully hot. I mean, before you start the engine, it's a good idea to open all the doors for a few seconds to let the hot, stagnant air escape rapidly. And there's also the well-known Japanese trick, which involves fanning one of the doors repeatedly to pump the hot air out of the vehicle. Embracing these simple habits can make a huge difference, not just to your comfort, but also to your fuel consumption, as you'll reduce your reliance on the air conditioning. All of the information we've just discussed comes from articles to be published on the N332 website this week. So if you want to read more about the upcoming e-scooter laws, the importance of keeping your car roadworthy, or tips for staying cool in the Spanish summer, you can find all three of these articles on the website. Finally, it's time for our look at motoring history. This week, we're looking at the period from Monday, the 18th of August, to Sunday, the 24th of August. On August 19th, 1968, the Spanish company Seat began production of the Seat 850 Sport Coupe, a stylish and sporty two-door coupe based on the popular Seat 850. It was a significant car for the Spanish market, offering a more luxurious and performance-oriented option compared to the standard saloon models, and it's now a cherished classic. Then, just a few days later, on August 22nd, 1948, the British Motor Corporation, BMC, introduced the Morris Minor, the gorgeous Moggy. Its history is deeply intertwined with the UK's motoring heritage, and its design, by Sir Alec Isigonis, would go on to influence countless other vehicles, including the Mini. The Morris Minor was a practical, affordable family car that became an iconic sight on British roads and was exported around the world. And that's all we have time for this week. Thank you for tuning in to N332 Driving in Spain. Everyone at N332 and our producers, Mad Black Cat, hope you found the information useful and insightful. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your favourite platform so you don't miss an episode. We'll be back next Sunday with more news, views, and a look back at motoring history. Until then, drive safe.
This is N332.
That was the N332 podcast, brought to you by marknolanspodcast.com. And our producers, Mad Black Cat. You can subscribe to future episodes on your favourite podcast platform, or visit the links on the website. Just Google us, and you will find us. My name is Lily, I'm not actually real, and you can find out more about how we use AI on the website.